Have you ever opened the fridge late at night, not because you were truly hungry, but because you were craving something? Maybe chocolate, maybe chips, maybe something sweet you can't quite explain. Most people think cravings are simply a lack of discipline. They blame themselves and say, I need more willpower. But cravings are rarely random.
Your body is constantly communicating with you, and cravings are one of the ways it sends messages. Sometimes those messages are about nutrition, sometimes they're about emotions, sometimes they're about habits your brain has learned over time. Understanding what your cravings really mean can completely change the way you eat, the way you feel, and the way you care for your body. Because when you learn to decode those signals, you stop fighting your body and start working with it. Let's break down what some of the most common cravings may actually be telling you. One of the most common cravings people experience is sugar cravings: chocolate, candy, pastries, soda, or sweet snacks. When your body craves sugar intensely, it may be reacting to low energy levels. If you skip meals, eat too little, or consume mostly refined carbohydrates, your blood sugar can crash. When that happens, your brain looks for the fastest source of fuel it knows: sugar. But sugar cravings can also come from lack of sleep. When you're tired, your body produces more of the hormone that increases hunger and reduces the hormone that signals fullness. The result is a strong desire for quick energy foods, especially sweets. Another hidden trigger is stress. Stress increases cortisol levels, and many people instinctively turn to sugary foods because they temporarily boost feel-good chemicals in the brain. So when you crave sugar, it might not mean you lack discipline. It might mean your body needs rest, balanced meals, or stress relief. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. And also, turn on your notifications bell so that you can get our video whenever we post. Another common craving is salty foods, things like chips, fries, or processed snacks. Salt cravings can sometimes signal dehydration. When your body lacks enough fluids, it may push you towards salty foods to help retain water. Drinking enough water during the day can often reduce these cravings dramatically. In some cases, salt cravings may also happen after heavy sweating or intense exercise, when your body loses electrolytes. Your body may be trying to restore that balance. However, many salt cravings are also habit-driven. Highly processed foods are designed to be extremely rewarding for the brain. The more frequently you eat them, the more your brain begins to expect them. So sometimes the craving isn't about nutrients, it's about the brain repeating a learned pattern. Now let's talk about chocolate cravings, one of the most famous cravings in the world. Chocolate cravings are often linked to magnesium deficiency because cocoa naturally contains magnesium. Magnesium plays a role in muscle relaxation, stress regulation, and nerve function. People who are under high stress or who consume highly processed diets sometimes lack enough magnesium, which may increase the desire for chocolate. But chocolate cravings also have a powerful emotional component. Chocolate stimulates the brain's pleasure centers and releases chemicals that improve mood. That's why people often crave chocolate during emotional moments, exhaustion, or hormonal shifts. In other words, the craving may be about both nutrition and comfort. Another interesting craving many people experience is the desire for carbohydrates, like bread, pasta, or rice. Carbohydrates help the brain produce serotonin, a chemical that stabilizes mood and promotes relaxation. That's why people often crave carbs when they feel anxious, overwhelmed, or emotionally drained. In stressful periods, your brain may push you toward carbohydrate-rich foods because they provide a temporary sense of calm. This is also why emotional eating tends to involve comfort foods rather than vegetables or lean proteins. Your brain is looking for quick emotional relief. Now, here's something important many people don't realize. Not all cravings are about nutrients. Some cravings are simply habit loops created by your brain. If you eat dessert every night at 9 p.m., your brain starts expecting sugar at that time. Eventually, the craving appears automatically, even if your body doesn't truly need the food. This is how powerful habits can be. The brain learns patterns and begins to anticipate rewards. The good news is that habits can also be retrained. If you slowly replace certain cravings with healthier routines, the brain eventually adapts. There is also a difference between true hunger and cravings. True hunger builds gradually. It can be satisfied with many different types of food. When you're genuinely hungry, a balanced meal sounds appealing. Cravings, however, are usually very specific. You don't just want food, you want that exact food. Chocolate, ice cream, pizza. Cravings also tend to appear suddenly and often disappear if you distract yourself for a few minutes. Recognizing this difference can help you respond more wisely to what your body is asking for. So, how can you manage cravings in a healthier way? First, eat balanced meals regularly. When your meals contain protein, fiber, and healthy fats, your blood sugar stays more stable and cravings become less intense. Second, stay hydrated. Many people confuse thirst with hunger. Drinking enough water during the day can reduce unnecessary cravings. Third, prioritize sleep. Lack of sleep dramatically increases cravings for high-calorie foods. Getting proper rest helps regulate the hormones that control hunger. Fourth, manage stress. Exercise, deep breathing, journaling, or short walks can reduce emotional cravings by lowering stress hormones. Finally, practice mindful eating. Instead of immediately reacting to a craving, pause and ask yourself one simple question: what might my body actually need right now? Sometimes the answer is food, sometimes it's rest, sometimes it's water, and sometimes it's simply a break. Now, here's the most important takeaway from this entire conversation. Cravings are not your enemy. They are signals. Your body is constantly trying to maintain balance, and cravings are one of the ways it communicates with you. When you learn to listen carefully, you begin to understand the deeper needs behind those urges.
Instead of judging yourself for having cravings, start getting curious about them. Because the moment you understand the message behind the craving, you gain the power to respond wisely. Your cravings are not just about food. They are clues about your sleep, stress, hydration, nutrition, and daily habits. The key is not to suppress them blindly, but to understand them. When you learn to listen to your body instead of fighting it, you create a healthier and more balanced relationship with food, one choice at a time.